Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at Marina in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. I cannot talk. For race 24 on the season. 3 races, guys. 3 races to the playoffs for the second year. I am so excited to see what's going to happen. It's been a long time coming. We are going back to the country of the United States of America for Darlington and Army Digital. And then we have the showdown and all-star race at St. Joltis before beginning the chase at Pikes Peak, which is the last track on the test of track list for this season to see what will come back, what won't come back. Um, Alexander Rowe won his first race of his career since Atlanta of 2017, so he got his second career win and first on the year. Now, looking at the point standings, Rowe sits 34th in the points, so if he can keep his good runs up, he'll climb into the top 30 in points. Zachary Fitzwater still 31st in points. Quentin Moore dropped to 29th. Austin Alves dropped to 27th. Flickinger rose up to 19th. So those are the 4 guys to look at in the danger zone. Alves, Moore, Fitzwater, and Rowe. 2 of which are in still and 2 of which are out. So Rowe was our 13th winner on the season, I want to say. I'll do a count after. This is another standing start race, so let's quickly go through the starting lineup. So we have 40 seconds from green flag. William Brock on the pole for tonight's race. Charles Sanford starting second, looking for that road course win. DJ Curtis, Quentin Moore in row 2, so like we said, Moore got to do good here. Kev Shearer, Emmanuel Hartnett. Caleb Hoff, Deanna Jones with Mark Riggleman and Peter Sands. That's the top 10 starting lineup. So Moore in a good starting position, and Sanford again looking to get a road course win like he did at Watkins Glen last year.
Drivers, start your engines!
Man's been given green flag is out. And DJ Curtis with a monster jump springs to the lead. William Brock is asleep. Shearer and Moore go by as well. Now the spread in qualifying on this track was 10 seconds. So this could get interesting here early on. And look at the craziness back here. Sorlin sliding all around. But Curtis was the one who flew into the lead on the start. And there he goes. But it is 3 wide action here in the back. 3 wide, 4 wide action all around. A lot more single filed out near the front. And that is what will probably eventually happen back here. Oh, and they're piling it up. Gardner, Arndt, Nunn, Goldberg all involved. Amato with damage. And that is a heavy braking zone right there. And that destroyed 3 cars. And the pace car better hurry the heck up if it wants to get to pit road before the leader catches. There's DJ Curtis and the pace car's down pit road. Curtis, Brock, Riggleman, Shearer, Jones, Seth Cole. More trouble. Looks like Hartnett. Hartnett with some issues. Look at Jessica Shelton was 21st to start the race. This field is so jumbled up, and Oskin just got turned. Oh, and contact from Eli Bright. We'll see how many drivers go down pit road here in a few laps, but the heavy braking zones are in St. James. Shelley has a ton of damage as well. Andrew Rich might have some back end damage. It's hard to tell. But Curtis is gone. And Jessica Shelton, who started in 21st place, will hit the start-finish line in 8th. And that is insane. Quentin Moore fell to 12th after his great start. Sanford, who started 2nd, is down to 13th. I'm trying to figure out who pit and who did not. Alex Gray does not have damage. Fitzwater does. Rowe also has damage. Let's see, Cody Hagan is down pit road. John Arndt is retired. Austin Alves is in the pits. And the pace car is on the racetrack again still, and DJ Curtis is coming up and is going to pass the pace car. That is legal, and we are not under a yellow. William Brock goes by Riggleman. There goes Shearer Jones, Seth Cole. Here comes Osborne, Shelton, Tony Green. Oh my gosh, okay. I guess the pace car is just going to chill right there all night. And as we were watching, Charles Sanford has acquired front end damage, and Quentin Moore was likely the receiver of that contact. So far, crazy racing. Oh, Hartnett! Tons of cars are spinning out here. Charles Jackson, oh my gosh, what is going on? And Gray just got turned over. And Zach Rogers just pile drived him. What on earth just happened there? More spinning. Sanford's around again. These drivers are apparently attempting to attack this course harder than they should be. However, the top 8 or so are fine. Curtis is gone. He is checked out. But there's been some crazy stuff going on here tonight. Zach Rogers is really slow. Cole Deaver will be coming out of the pits. Quentin Moore also on pit road. Nate Rogers, who started last, is up to 26th place. Hartnett's still got heavy damage. The field has spread out considerably. Unsure whether we'll see anyone catch anyone now. It appears Riggleman is tracking down the 21 of William Brock. And this is a common spin-out section. Drivers really push it through this corner. This could be a common viewpoint. Look at how close Jones cut that corner compared to Kev Shearer. The top 8 have pulled away considerably. Andrew Rich 9th, Tony Green in 10th. Drivers are doing their best to just get through the corner without dying. Oh, and there goes Fitzwater, Yepes, Hartnett, and Rowe. Sorlin just joined them. Nate Rogers will hold on. He'll gain a position. Maybe, maybe not. So we're on lap 3. What a crazy race this has been so far. There's Cody Hagan, James Shelley, Deaver, Alves, and Gardner, along with Quentin Moore. Zach Rogers also out of the pit road. There's race leader DJ Curtis, retired from the race. Sam Edoskin, Eli Bright, John Nunn, Michael Amato, Philip Goldberg, John Arndt, Alex Gray, Zach Flickinger, and Charles Sanford. So Sanford 0 for 3 on the road courses this time around. Now, as we were talking, I wanted to look at the point standings to see how many winners there really are. The entire top 7 in points are winning drivers. Currently in the top 30 is 12. Total, there are 14. Looking at the points picture coming in today, the 4 drivers in on points were Cody Hagan, Peter Sands, Caleb Hoffman, and TJ Hanley. The first one out was Mike Lamato. As we stated, he is DNF. Tony Green is next in that line. Then Dylan Young, Eli Bright, John Arndt, and Charles Jackson. Out of which we have lost Bright and Arndt. So far, Curtis in a good position to win. He came decently close at Watkins Glen until a late pit stop. Curtis currently 23rd in the point standings. That would bump out TJ Hanley, theoretically, coming into the race tonight. Now, Brock did run a faster lap that last lap, and so did Mark Riggleman. So Curtis may not have won this race just yet. Now he is catching lap down car of the 19 of Zach Rogers, who is the last driver on the racetrack. Rogers has come off 2 great finishes on road courses, but tonight is not his night. And right now, if he just can chug along, he could continue to gain positions as others fall off the racetrack. Kev Shearer sits in 4th place still. Jones right on his tail in 5th. These two battled it out in the Puco duels a few months ago. Shearer finished 2nd in both those races, while Jones won them both. Seth Cole, who won at Watkins Glen 2 weeks back, sits in 6th. Osborne sits in 7th. Jessica Shelton having a good run in 8th, just kind of surviving after starting 21st. Andrew Rich, who is still your points leader, question mark? Yes, Andrew Rich, who is the points leader, 32 points over Gardner heading into the night, 40 over Deanna Jones, sits in 9th, and Tony Green sits 10th. Looking at the rest of your running order, Philip Parker 11th, Peter Sands 12th, having a good effort so far, which he needs to continue to do if he is going to make the playoffs on points. Wow, he's sliding. Oh, and McIntyre has just spun. Alex Ferranti and TJ Hanley get a piece. Now, Hanley, we mentioned, last driver in on points right now. He needs to do good here tonight. He has moved up to 14th from 15th. McIntyre now down to 15th place. Charles Jackson in 16th. One of those guys currently out. As we stated, James Quall 17th. Yepes 18th. He's had a good string of luck in. He's in the top 20 for now with a damaged race car. We'll see how all these damaged cars do in the long run of things. Alexander Rowe 19th. Fitzwater Sr. is 20th. Tringali has just passed Hoffman for 21st. Hoffman, the defending champion, trying to make it in the playoffs on points. And Sorlin sitting in 23rd. Nate Rogers is nowhere to be seen. There he is. The 83 came down pit road, presuming for some kind of damage incident. He has fallen back to 32nd place. Cars with tons of damage still out here. Quentin Moore, Emmanuel Hartnett, Johnny Gardner, Dylan Young has also pit this past lap. Unsure what the deal is there for the 2 car. It could be strategy. This is a 30-lap event on a very long track. Cole Deaver, James Shelley, Cody Hagan, also all with damage. Good fight here. Sorlin's going to dive right on Caleb Hoffman. The Cup guys here drive this track very wonky. But Sorlin will complete the pass on the 14. That is for 22nd place. Now Curtis was losing ground to William Brock, Mark Riggleman, and others. But that lead has just been gained 2 seconds over this last lap. Curtis ran a 2:11.2. Meanwhile, because of the 19 of Zach Rogers, Brock and Riggleman caught in a bad spot. Curtis ran a blistering fast lap time that only Seth Cole has beaten in terms of speed, a 2:10.8. Brock and Riggleman by the lap car of Zach Rogers. Shearer in 4th all by himself. No sign of Deanna Jones, who was in 5th. Seth Cole sits in 5th, and the thought just occurred to me as Jessica Shelton has fallen to 9th. Wow, a really slow lap for her. She must have spun. But there is Deanna Jones with a ton of back end damage. And Cole Deaver just lost it there. What was that? That was very bizarre. Peter Sands is back here as well now. I am almost curious to know if these drivers are either spinning or if they are cutting corners they shouldn't be cutting. TJ Hanley also in the back here. As Mark Riggleman has made his way by William Brock for second place. And Riggleman with a 2:10.9 will gain a ton of time back on DJ Curtis. Let's go on board a lap with a driver we can find that is still near the start finish line. And we will go on board with the 88 of Alex Ferranti for a lap around Yas Marina. You see Ferranti with some front end damage. Only on lap 7 of 30, a really long race here tonight. Possibly the longest of the year. Almost doing the same thing many have done. That rumble strip apparently possibly a bump. Here is the longest part of the racetrack. To 180 miles an hour. And here the second longest straightaway. Also an alternate starting point for the pit road. Different races. Here's the trouble spot for many drivers tonight. Ooh, Ferranti gets a little loose. So they take this section, hang left. That area, and after about 70, oh, I'm sorry, after about 140 seconds, 130, we are around this racetrack. On board with the 88 of Alex Ferranti, up to 11th place. At the leaderboard, Joshua Osborne up to 5th. As the 8th place driver has gone down pit road. Oh, Kev Shearer down pit road, Seth Cole down pit road, Tony Green, Andrew Rich. This appears like a normal cycle of green flag pit stops. So after only 7 laps, drivers are beginning to make their way down pit road. Curtis still in the lead. Riggleman slowly closing. William Brock not faring so well anymore. Sitting in 3rd still. Now 4th place is Osborne. 5th is Shelton. 6th is Philip Parker. Still unknown who can win. Curtis definitely in the favorite odds right now. And while Curtis sits there, we have to look at the other two close behind in the point standings. William Brock at one point was very close and in the picture on points now. He sits 21st in the standings, 2 spots ahead of DJ Curtis. A win would also be very good for him this late in the going. As for Mark Riggleman, Riggleman fell 5 spots in the points after last week, all the way down the 42nd. A win would be a step in the right direction, but the playoffs do not seem likely for the 26 team. Also looking at the point standings right now, the highest driver without a top 5 is John Nunn, who sits 32nd in the point standings. Only other drivers without a top 5 finished this season, aside from Nunn, includes Emmanuel Hartnett and Jessica Shelton, as Curtis has come down pit road. William Brock has done the same, as has Mark Riggleman. So far, no signs of anyone staying out. Hoffman, the next highest driver. He will come down pit road. Sorlin will come down pit road. Hagan, we know, pit earlier. But actually, no, Hagan is coming down. Curtis out first still, out on the way, gone. Riggleman second, Brock third. Jessica Shelton is coming out of pit road in fourth. As they go under the tunnel. Let's actually show you what is under here. Again with Alex Ferranti. This is how you exit pit road in Yas Marina. That is Ferranti out of pit road. There's Charles Jackson. There's Seth Cole in front of the 70 car yet again. And Seth Cole just lost it. One of the two positions drivers have been losing it all night. Jackson loses it. Ferranti loses it. Everybody's checking up to avoid other drivers. And now a battle for position between Ferranti and Tony Green. Green with the preferred line on the jump. Old Heaver not doing so bad without a hood. Up ahead, big battle between Shelton, Rich, and Parker. Kev Shearer sits clearly in fourth place. Shelton currently in fifth. Battle is on for sixth between Rich and Parker. One of the other disastrous corners of the night. Heavy braking zone. And Rich barely hanging onto his race car there. So while we're on the topic of racetracks we have been testing this season, the following tracks were first runs for the Mountain Dew For the Win Cup Series this year. They were Chicago Motor Speedway, won by Johnny Gardner. Dodge Motordrome, won by Andrew Rich. Pig Stadium, also won by Andrew Rich. Surfers Paradise, won by Cole Deaver. Provo last week, which was won by Alexander Rowe, and now tonight, Yas Marina, which it looks like could be won so far by DJ Curtis, but looking at where they pit, we still have 2 more pit stops to go here in this race, possibly a third if drivers cannot make it on gas. And after Yas Marina tonight, St. Joltis for the All-Star festivities this year, and Pikes Peak. The rest of the tracks in the chase include a lot of tracks that have already been visited this season once before, including Auto Club, Richmond, Atlanta, Talladega, and Texas. All of which are in a streak race, 29-33 on the season. And then Rockingham, Pensacola, and Homestead are the one-offs to end, and Papyrus is the middle race in round 1. Again, to just go over that in order so it makes a little more sense, the chase races go as follows: Pikes Peak, Papyrus, Auto Club, that's round 1. Round 2, Richmond, Atlanta, Talladega. Round 3 is Texas, Rockingham, and the Pensacola Superspeedway, with Homestead hosting the finale yet again. Now I can say for sure that Chicago Motor Speedway will likely not be returning. Dodge Motordrome is definite return based on the great racing the track provided the drivers. Pig Stadium also looks like it could return for 2019. Surfers Paradise is a resounding no due to the extreme amount of single file racing we had at that racetrack. And Provo is looking pretty good that coming back. It's only been a week, so they're not entirely sure what the reactions have been just yet based on the ratings. As for Yas Marina, the drivers have had a ton of trouble, so I'm sure the drivers will be vouching not to return. But with only a third of the race complete, there's still a lot to decide based on tonight's event. Mark Riggleman has been losing a ton of time on DJ Curtis. He just can't dial his car in. And that lead has grown to almost 10 seconds. Meanwhile, William Brock had been closing a little bit, but last lap 4/10 slower for the 21 machine. Jessica Shelton with a good lap. Same for Andrew Rich. Philip Parker not so lucky, sitting in 7th. Here's a big battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. Osborne, Seth Cole, Tony Green. The end of the top 10 for Arlington. Charles Jackson. There's Hoffman sitting 13th. Peter Sands, Qualls, Hanley, Deanna Jones back down pit road. Damn, Dylan Young almost running into the back of Al's. But as we are 10 laps in, maybe 10 and a half, we're going to take a break. And we'll be back for more racing at Yas Marina. And we're back at Yas Marina. Nothing really going on. Field is still extremely spread out. No one has retired. Cody Hagan is about to go 3 laps down. He just sat on pit road for 8 whole minutes. Not sure what the problem was with the 8 car. Curtis puts him another lap down. As Zachary Fitzwater Sr. just retired from the race, I believe. Deanna Jones has not had a good night. She was running in the top 10. Now she is down to 28th. And yes, Fitzwater retired. Not what the 43 team needed. They're really going to be having to push this team to do well at Darlington next week, because Armory Digital is going to be a free-for-all. Last year we saw Colin Denton win at that racetrack, which secured him in the chase as he was the points leader. Or, well, he was either the points leader without a win, or he was in the top 5 without a win, and he needed a win to advance and get into the playoffs. Speaking of which, I did a little research on last season's Final Four and came to the apparent findings that Johnny Gardner finished second in the points, which I did not remember. I had thought Gardner fell out before the Final Four, so I believe I said that earlier this season, so my apologies for that misinformation. So Gardner definitely looking, after coming up short last year, of getting the championship this year. However, tonight, not the night for the 32 machine. Bad luck here at Yas Marina. And the lead for DJ Curtis has extended up to nearly 11 seconds over Mark Riggleman. William Brock sitting in 3rd, just still right there. Kev Shearer another 17 seconds back, just chilling in 4th place. See more drivers continuing to spin in this section. Shelton sits 5th. Rich, points leader heading into today in 6th, will definitely increase that points lead over Gardner and Jones. 7th place is Philip Parker, approaching the back end of Zach Rogers. 8th, Seth Cole. 9th is Joshua Osborne. And Philip Parker just spun, as did Seth Cole. Osborne Green, the entire back half of the top 10. Charles Jackson, Caleb Hoffman will drive by. That was all of 7th to 10th. That bumps Jackson up to 7th, Hoffman in the 8th. Osborne still sits 9th. And this is some crazy action right here. Look at this. They got 3 wide. Parker almost goes off track. Tony Green currently into the last top 10 spot. So Seth Cole, Philip Parker falling out. No, never mind. Osborne losing a ton of time here. Green's going to go by for 9th, and Seth Cole will go back by for 10th. But which of these drivers is going to come down pit road to fix their damage? Tony Green is definitely, Osborne is definitely. Seth Cole botched up his corner, and now he is coming down as well. So, good amount of drivers coming down pit road. I believe calls might be a scheduled pit stop because there is no damage on that 27 car. Kev Shearer has already made his second stop. He's coming out of pit road right now. Shearer will not lose any track position at all. Still will sit 9th place, right there behind the 88 of Alex Ferranti. There's DJ Curtis here at the halfway point. Will we see him make his second pit stop tonight? He's approaching the back of Nate Rogers, who sits in 30th. Matthew McIntyre just in front of the 83 machine. Curtis looking to the right of Nate for the race lead. Now, if Curtis can pull off this win tonight, that will be his third career win. Now, he will stay out one more lap at least. Now, we'll see what the 26 and the 21 do. Riggleman is, what's the word I was looking for? Riggleman is electing to stay out. William Brock, however, will give up third. He will come down pit road as Andrew Rich has gotten by Jessica Shelton for fourth. However, Rich will pit, giving up that position back to Shelton, who stays out. Charles Jackson suddenly has a ton of back-end damage, though I'm not sure if that was already there. Caleb Hoffman still sitting in 8th, according to the scoreboard. Jackson comes down, Hoffman will come down. So for Ferranti, as we know, Shearer has already come down pit road. James Shelley sits in 13th with his damaged race car. So apparently a lot of problems going on for some drivers. There's Tony Green and James Qualls. There's Philip Parker, 17th. And the hood is gone on his machine. Or not 17th. And there's Osborne. So a tough break for all of those drivers. There's Seth Cole even farther back. Curtis continuing to lead laps. Will we see DJ Curtis make his second pit stop of the night here on lap 16, attempting to do this race in 3 pit stops? And here comes the 17 of DJ Curtis down pit road for the second time today. And Philip Austin House is going to make Curtis have to slow up. That's going to cost Curtis a few seconds. However, as you can see in the background, Mark Riggleman. Oh, and Hartnett's going to get in the way. Does that screw up Curtis's pit stop? No, it does not. But Curtis losing valuable time. It should still keep him in front of Mark Riggleman. And DJ Curtis will be out in the way, but Riggleman is right there. So Riggleman a lot closer than he was before. Here's Jessica Shelton on pit road. There goes William Brock. And there's Andrew Rich coming out at the last corner. We'll see where he corresponds to the O2 machine. Remember, he pit before Jessica Shelton. It looks like Shelton might be ahead of him. And that is indeed the case. Kev Shears sits in 6th place now, pitting perhaps a bit too early. James Shelley, Cole Deaver down pit road. Those are top 10 guys along with Jonathan Zorlin. But there goes Charles Jackson. Jackson will sit 7th. Tony Green 8th. Peter Sands has made his way up to 9th. And though 11th at the line, TJ Hanley will fly into 10th place. So the field has vastly spread out. There's William Brock. Riggleman is not too much farther ahead of him, but Riggleman can see DJ Curtis once more. Curtis lost a ton of track time on pit road, and if that happens on the 3rd pit stop in the same way it did on the 2nd, you could see a new race leader. And Curtis knows with such a little time remaining that this has been his best shot to win all season. He just needs to keep his car going, not spin out. Riggleman's in this to mainly get a win to boost them for the end of the season. Remember, Charles Jackson won 2 chase races last year, and he wasn't even in the playoffs. If he had been, he would have been in the Elite 8, no question. The same can be said for Seth Cole, who won a race in round 1 and round 3. Had he made it to round 3 in the chase, he would have been in the final 4. Riggleman got a free 8 seconds from Curtis's mishaps on pit road. Pretty much 7 to 8 seconds there. William Brock also gained a ton of ground. Shelton, as you can see, is 23 seconds behind. Possible problems for the 53 machine. He has not hit the start-finish line yet. There he is. 5th is Rich. Kev Shears right there in 6th. Jackson, Green, Sands, and Hanley. That's the rest of the top 10. We'll see where they are at on the scoring loop. All just about a minute behind. Caleb Hoffman in 11th, Alex Ferranti 12th. Alexander Rowe has made his way back up to 13th. Parker 14th, James Shelley 15th, Osborne 16th, Qualls 17th. Diego Yepes sits 18th. Cole Deaver 19th. Deanna Jones down pit road, and 20th is Jonathan Zorlin. There is DJ Curtis, the lead of this race. So no one has retired since Fitzwater did. We'll take one more step aside. We're technically 6 laps from seeing DJ Curtis pit one more time. So we'll be stepping aside just one last time, and we'll be here for the end of this race. We are back suddenly at Yas Marina. DJ Curtis just spun. Riggleman followed suit, and William Brock has catapulted back into 2nd place. What a turn of events. It looked like Riggleman was going to pass DJ Curtis, but that did not happen. That is Curtis's first mistake all night. Riggleman checked up, trying too hard to get as much ground as he could. He screws up as well. He drops to 3rd. But William Brock moves into 2nd place, but Curtis retains his lead due to Riggleman spinning out. No sign of the 17 pitting early. These two merely spun. They did not hit the wall. With 11 to go, as you can see, Brock 1.65 back. Riggleman still gained time on DJ Curtis, but it could have been into the race lead for this 26 car. Now the question is Curtis's tires destroyed enough for William Brock to catch up? This just changed everything. And William Brock and Mark Riggleman just spun. Oh, man. The opportunity was there, and they both blew it. Wow. And Curtis is gone again. Brock had a prime chance, and he just went at that section too hard. That was one of the two sections where you don't want to attack it aggressively. Brock and Riggleman paid the price. I believe Riggleman again had to check up for someone in front of him. We've seen many other drivers lock up and spin to avoid wrecking as well. Shelton continues to sit in fourth. Shearer has made his way by Andrew Rich for fifth. Peter Sands up to eighth, Hanley up to ninth, and Hoffman in 10th place. Tony Green down to 12th. Ferranti actually has been the one who fell to 16th, trying to get back by Diego Yepes. This is a battle for 15th place. Seth Cole in 20th. Brock, Riggleman, Curtis just continuing to drive on. So we'll see how much time that cost William Brock and Mark Riggleman. And will they elect to pit it all is the bigger question. William Brock is not, neither will Riggleman, but they lost a ton of time. You can just see how long it takes to get around here. The average mile per hour on this racetrack is 90 miles an hour. And there it is, 5 seconds lost for Brock, another 6 on top for Riggleman, back down to where they were before. In order for them to gain a lot of that back, you will have to see Curtis make another mistake. He had only made one all night. That is one of the sections to not make a mistake in. William Brock doesn't do it again, neither does Riggleman. They're taking their time now. And they have a ton of ground over Jessica Shelton, who is pretty much just taking her time. She's in 4th place, looking at what could be, I believe, one of her better finishes on the year. Shelton sits 39th in the point standings with 0 top 5 finishes and only 2 top 10s. Shelton started 21st, so that would be quite the finish for the O2 driver. And Nate Rogers just lost it behind DJ Curtis. Oh, these guys are right there. Sometimes when drivers, yeah, but there it is. William Brock's around. Riggleman will keep it together. William Brock. Just frustration for this 21 team. And another 8 seconds most likely gone for William Brock. Jessica Shelton is closing in. Remember, these are valuable points in the top 4 positions. 50 to win, 47 for second, 45 for third, and 42 for fourth, down to 40 for 5th place. So Brock is losing valuable points the more he pushes his race car. Seth Cole's down for the probably last time of the night if he can stretch it. Brock does not come down pit road, so Brock will continue with his hardships. Riggleman actually gaining a second on Curtis that lap. Brock not losing as much as we thought he would. Curtis continuing the lead. Still nobody else has retired. Curtis will get through this tough section just fine. Mark Riggleman does not though. Riggleman again making a mistake. Brock following suit. And Curtis is just driving away at this point. Jessica Shelton now in a prime position to get a podium finish. Four drivers just continue to fall back to her Chevy SS. Andrew Rich in 5th, just kind of chilling. Kev Shear has made his final pit stop of the night. That will drop him to 10th place. TJ Hanley, Peter Sands, Tony Green, Joshua Osborne also all down pit road. Tons of other cars as well. Curtis taking his time, most likely been told that the 26 and 21 spun out yet again. See if Curtis elects to pit early here. That answer is a no. But William Brock will be coming down pit road here on lap 22. That will give third to Jessica Shelton temporarily. Or possibly completely. We'll see how much of this damage the 21 team elects to repair. Andrew Rich is also down pit road from 5th place. William Brock out and away. Down pit road. Definitely they took a little time to repair some damage. There's Kev Shearer though, nowhere close. Riggleman still nowhere. But DJ Curtis has Matthew McIntyre right in front of him. Wow! Curtis was everywhere, and there goes Cody Hagan yet again. Riggleman side by side with Nate Rogers in a pretty dangerous section. And Riggleman and Nate both go around. Riggleman gets a little back end damage. Jessica Shelton capitalizing once more. Trying to get by Nate Rogers. And she completes the pass on the 83. Or not. Nope. She's going to yield back to the 83 car. And DJ Curtis finally coming down pit road. Coming to 7 laps to go. We'll see what Curtis's team can do for him on his last stop of the night. Pulling in right in front of Quentin Moore, right before Moore leaves. Moore gets into the back of Curtis. No damage. Riggleman and Shelton both down pit road. And Curtis out and away. Down into the tunnel he goes, gone. And Riggleman, no doubt, fixing the damage. He will give up 2nd place to Jessica Shelton. And there goes the 26. A lot more damage fixed on that car than we saw for William Brock. And Brock will definitely pass for 3rd. Fifth place continues to be Andrew Rich. Shearer right there in 6th. Seventh, Charles Jackson. 8th is TJ Hanley. 9th, Peter Sands. And 10th is Alexander Rowe. And there is race leader DJ Curtis. Barely hanging on. One of the tightest corners, or chain of corners to get through. Jessica Shelton, the big mover, up to 2nd place. Brock back up to 3rd. Riggleman drops to 4th. There's so much damage that team had to repair. Shelton hangs on and Brock goes around again. And now Riggleman will move back into 3rd. William Brock, just not having a good night, just continues to push the race car too hard. Good battle for 5th on back here. Andrew Rich and Kev Shearer. Jackson sitting alone in 7th. Haley alone in 8th. Peter Sands swinging back and forth. Shelton making her way by the lap car of Emmanuel Hartnett as she hits the line, confirmed 2nd place, 20 seconds behind DJ Curtis. It will take a lot for anyone else to win this event. This is what Curtis's back bumper shows us. Same can be said for in front of DJ Curtis. Smooth sailing for this 17 machine. Just got to get through that section. That's the toughest section, no doubt. Jessica Shelton gone again. Riggleman and Brock not doing good at all. Despite being top 5, they've really been giving up a ton of track time. William Brock again, harder now into that wall. More door damage for the 21 machine, more back end damage for the 21 machine. And he's about to give up 2 points to Andrew Rich if he's not careful. And Rich knows that he definitely doesn't need these points with the chase looming forward. But he is going to move to the attack position in this set of corners. This lane is the preferred to pass people. And Andrew Rich will climb into 4th place, passing William Brock. The pole sitter was once 2nd in the race, and now he's at his lowest of 5th, not counting in between pit stops. The 21 will not come down pit road, so he elects to stay out. Shearer remains in 6th, but Andrew Rich, with his fastest lap of the night, of the race, Rich up to 4th place. DJ Curtis just continues to smooth sail. It's been pretty quiet, aside from a few solo spins. Caleb Hoffman has fallen 18th, okay. Back end damage seen on that 14 machine. How about James Shelley? This man was, I believe, 28th after he wrecked on lap 1. He continues now in 14th, running pretty slow lap times. But alas, okay, not so slow lap times. 2 seconds off ain't too bad. Diego Yepes back to 12. Alexander Rowe, remember off his win last week, sits in 10th, trying to get the momentum to build, trying to climb up into the top 30 in points and make the playoffs like he did in 2017. Glenn Hill's on. No sign of anyone else having spun out. William Brock around again, harder into the wall. Kev Shear is going to follow with him. Brock's back end now completely destroyed. And now it'll be interesting to see what William Brock does here with even more damage. Kev Shear, 6th place as well. Will these drivers give up more points? Brock will not. Brock will stay out. Same with Shear. Both of these guys' back ends are destroyed. So the top 4 in the race order is all but confirmed. Curtis is just gone. Regelman's pushing his machine pretty good here. There's really nothing much to talk about except the dead pace car driver right here. You know, he's just chilling right here. Look at the cameraman. Look at the shot. Just pace car driver is just pretty peeved, as you can see by his face. You know, front end is just through the guardrail here. You know, it's a complete safety hazard, but the officials don't really seem to care right now. I think Andrew Rich just flipped the pace car off. I'm not entirely certain. Yeah. Tony Green's back up into 10th. Alexander Rowe, I believe, had to pit. So that is unfortunate. He could not make it on one more stop from whenever the last time he pit was. That could be an interesting thing to see for the rest, but he will fall down to 20th. Oh, and DJ Curtis just spun. I believe the 17 car just went around. It was not captured on camera. I see slight back end damage. Can we get a confirmation here coming to 3 to go? Let's look at the last lap time here. Indeed, 2:20. So Curtis going around. We did not see it. We'll see how much time Jessica Shelton gains. And the margin is down from 21 seconds to 13 and a half. So Curtis will have to do that 2 more times if Shelton is to gain and pass for the lead. But this no doubt shrunk the field up. Curtis making only his 2nd mistake all night. William Brock with a mistake-free lap this time around. As we wait to see if any more drivers have to pit again. It is a very long racetrack, so you do not want to run out of fuel here anywhere. So Curtis, oh, Zach Rogers is finally retired from the race. He should finish 31st or 32nd. So another driver retired. Curtis hanging on this time. Curtis will come to take 2 to go at Yas Marina. There's nothing going on. Shelton gaining another second on Curtis that last lap. She is just in the zone, hoping for anything to go wrong for DJ Curtis. Maybe the O2 machine could get a victory here today. Sorry, nothing to talk about really. This race has been going on over an hour now. Curtis will keep his car straight. Honestly, I have to wait for the 17 to cross that start-finish line. I've not looked at the pit lane cams, so that's pit lane 1, then pit lane. Ooh, this is a cool camera. There goes Curtis. Good shot. Curtis coming around will take the white flag in Abu Dhabi. Curtis looking to break his winless streak. Curtis, one of the few multi-winners from last year who had not yet won. And with winning this race, that will leave just Michael Amato. Shelton gaining a little more time that last lap, but it's just not going to be enough unless Curtis botches 2 corners here on this last lap. There's the pace car yet again. And DJ Curtis wins at Yas Marina. Yay. I'm sorry. I am supposed to be a lot more enthusiastic, but this race, I knew this race was going to take a while because I set the distance too long. But it's over. Darlington is next, then Army Digital. Those races should be hopefully exciting. Definitely Army Digital. I don't know about Darlington. Darlington's a hit or miss. Jessica Shelton gets second. Mark Rugelman third. Andrew Rich fourth. William Brock will come home in fifth. Actually, no, he won't. No, he fucked up. Oops. Kev Shearer fifth. William Brock sixth. Waiting. Charles Jackson seventh. TJ Hanley eighth. Peter Sands confirmed in ninth. And 10th, Tony Green. That's it for me from Yas Marina. And I'll see you guys at Darlington.